Hey guys, Doc. Today I'm going to teach you how to make an all-in-one spray for your lawn that basically replicates the things that you see online. You see liquid dethatchers, you see liquid aerators, you see biostimulants, you see all these kind of things out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to make up a pretty simple, not too expensive spray that you can spray on your lawn weekly or bi-weekly that basically does the exact same thing as all those. So hold on one sec. Morning. A very important point. Don't skip this. Don't skip. This is a really important point. I spent all day yesterday making this video, and then I came back and I said, you know what? I really have to emphasize a couple of points. Number one, in this video, I break down, a lot of people get confused. So I break down the mixing of this into a gallon sort of theory. It's a lot easier for you guys. So some of you guys are using spray bottles. I'm using a spray tank pull behind, but I'm doing this in a gallon that makes it easier to understand. So I break that down for you. Number two, your soil sucks. It does. Your lawn soil is horrible. And there's a reason why. And it's because it's a monoculture. We only grow one thing on it and it never gets anything else. I've repeated this phrase over and over this year. There's a 1-hour video that will change your life. And I'm going to put it in the description below on our website. I'm going to put Gabe's video a little bit lower on that page. And if you haven't watched that video, that 1 hour will completely make you understand what we're doing this year with a lot of this organic material, microbes and fungus that we're putting into our lawns. It's a monoculture, which means that your soil is really crappy. And we're trying to improve it. We can only do that a couple of ways. So my recommendation is one night when you're bored, watch that video. It's great information. Next point, a lot of people get confused. A lot of people think we're putting this organic matter. We happen to use chicken feed or chicken crumbles. A lot of people think we're putting this down as a fertilizer. It's not really a fertilizer. Yes, it does fertilize your lawn. It releases nutrients. But what we're doing is we are adding organic matter to our lawn. Since it's a monoculture, we're adding clean organic matter, and it helps to feed the soil microbes. Important point. Soil microbes can't exist without food, and their food is organic matter. So if you want to have good fungus, which is essential for good soil, if you want to have good bacteria, good soil microbes, you have to feed them. You cannot have good microbial activity in your lawn unless you feed it. That's really why we're putting down this organic matter and we're making these supplement sprays, is to increase that good soil microbial activity, which is vital for a healthy lawn. Don't try and replace your basic fertilizer with either a stimulant or organic matter, especially in the spring. And I make that point in the video. Put down your fertilizers first. Get your lawn going. Once the warmer temperatures move in, then we can start to add some organic matter. We can add some supplement sprays. We can add microbial boosters, and we can make it healthy. I'm going to go over to my garden for a minute, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So hold on. It's kind of chilly out here. So the first thing I do before I go over to my garden is I'm going to cut up my lawn for you guys. I'm going to show you why your lawn soil is crappy and your garden soils are so great. So let me cut a hole here. Ugh. Okay, so I don't till up my lawn. So how am I supposed to get, if I want to have good microbial activity, how am I supposed to get those good microbes and the good organic matter down in here? I don't till my lawn up. I don't turn over my soils like a garden. So what we're doing is we are adding carbon to the top of our soils through humichar. We are adding clean organic matter, whatever you want to put down. We put down chicken feed. And we're letting this microbial activity eventually work down into the soil. Now you can see my natural soil is solid red clay. I'm starting to get this dark layer, which is about 1.5 inches here. And that's what I'm focused on. Really that top 2 inches where I'm adding carbon, I'm adding good organic matter and boosting my soil microbes. Now let's go look at the garden. So with our gardens, you know, we can till up our gardens, we can add any kind of soil, we can add organic matter, we can add whatever we want to it. So garden soil looks a lot different. So as you can see, my garden soil, I've actually thrown some chicken feed out here yesterday because we're getting ready to turn this. We add this clean organic matter right into our garden soils as well too. It feeds the microbes. It releases nutrients. This is what keeps those microbes and good fungus alive. When I dig down in, look at that soil. Look how beautiful that is. And that's because I can go in here and I can constantly add good things because I can get down inside this soil. I can't do that with my lawn. So that's one of the reasons why we're adding this clean organic matter. Again, watch that video from Gabe. It's really important. So anyways, now we can get to the video that I shot yesterday. Okay, so it is windy out here. Second day of spring. Sun's finally starting to show up. But here's your assignment. I'm going to give you an assignment. I want you to go online, and what I want you to do is I want you to Google liquid aerators. I want you to Google liquid dethatchers. I want you to put lawn biostimulants. Basically, all these products have very similar ingredients and components, and they work in the same way. Most of them have humic acid. They might have some potassium or potash inside of it. They may have some type of enzyme or biostimulant or microbes. They might have some micronutrients. They might have fulvic acid and sea kelp. They'll also have sea kelp inside of them. So basically, that's the major component of all these products. So we've been, for the past 1.5 years, we've been sort of looking at our spray supplements. And it's important to realize, this is very important to realize, when you're talking a supplement, you're not talking about a fertilizer. We never use strong fertilizers. When you use a supplement, you will not see a stimulated response. I want to make that clear. When you use a supplement, it's for the overall health of your soil and your plants. So how can we take what we have available to us and make a pretty simple formula? So what we're going to do is we're going to take Super Juice, which has a 712. It has nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It has sea kelp. It has humic acid, fulvic acid. It has a bunch of micronutrients, has iron inside of it. We're going to take that as our base formula. Then a lot of these liquid aerators basically just use a surfactant. That's all it is. It's just a wetting agent to break the surface tension. So we're going to add a surfactant to that. Then what we're going to add to it is we're going to add a microbial booster. We're going to add a microbial booster that adds good fungus and good microbes. Now we can take this supplement, which is very, very mild, and we can spray it every week on our lawn. But you have to understand something. These supplements really don't work well in the cold weather. When temperatures start to touch into the 80 degrees, that's when they'll be effective. So don't waste your time with spray supplements in the early spring. Wait until it starts to get a little bit warmer and you can stimulate and get those microbes and the good fungus and everything going in your lawn. So that's when we want to use our spray supplement. The next time, we'll be using a lot of this chicken feed in the summertime as an organic, just adding organic matter to our lawn. And yes, so you can spray this on top of that. So I really want you to understand when to spray this too. You don't want to spray it in the heat of the afternoon. Right at sunset, when the sun starts to set in the afternoon, the temperatures will start to drop. That's when you're going to go out. If you're going to put out chicken feed, you put out your chicken feed, you put out your spray supplement, and let it sit there all night long. It'll stay wet and it'll work in. And if you want to irrigate it in the morning, you can irrigate it into the soil in the morning. Works out perfectly, great timing. So basically what we're doing is we're looking at all these different things, all these sprays, liquid dethatcher, liquid aerator, biostimulants, and we're saying, okay, let's just take all those ingredients and let's put them into one spray that we can just put out once a week or once every other week. So I'm going to hop in the garage, I'm going to get out of this wind, and I'll show you a simple method that you can make it. Okay, so I'm going to mix this up, and hopefully I'll keep this explanation simple enough for you. Number one, people have a tendency to get confused about how to mix these things up, and let me explain this. These spray bottles, I'll put a link to them on the page below. They've been out of stock for about 2 weeks. I'm going to warn you. When you go to the link, you get 2 bottles for 19 bucks. Someone hijacked the link earlier, and they've got like a 30-to-1 spray bottle, 2 of them for 40 bucks. Don't buy that. Just wait till these get back in stock from the Andersons, please. The bottle, this bottle, for me, at my walk rate, covers about 2,000 square feet. This bottle is 1 quart. It's a 20-to-1 ratio. The only reason that's important is I don't want you to buy the 30-to-1 ratios, because that's just not enough output for what we're doing, and we want to keep things consistent. So you're going to have to wait. If you don't have these yet, wait about a week or 2 and they'll be back in stock. There is a clear stripe indicator on the front of it so you can see what's going in. 1 quart. So how many quarts in a gallon? There's 4 quarts in a gallon. So I'm going to make up 4 bottles because I have 1 gallon and there's 4 quarts in a gallon. If 1 bottle will treat 2,000 square feet, that means that 4 bottles will treat what? 8,000 square feet. So basically you just do the math. That's all you got to do. If you have 16,000 square feet, then you would make 8 bottles. If you have 4,000 square feet, you do 2 bottles, half a gallon. Got it? That's all you do. So that's why I'm sticking with a gallon to make this easier. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add super juice. Now, super juice is a dry formula. This is developed out of the same formulas that they make for the golf course industry and professional turf industry. And basically it has nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in it. It has magnesium, sulfur, copper, iron, manganese, zinc, all the good microbes. It has sea kelp, it has humic acid, it has fulvic acid. So it basically replicates a lot of those other products that you're seeing. So this is our base product. I'm only going to put 1 cup in 1 gallon. Remember, this is not a fertilizer, people. We never use strong spray fertilizers on our lawn. To feed our lawn, we use granulars. We use PGF Complete. Regardless of your lawn, warm season or cool season, you'll use PGF Complete. And yes, this can be used on any kind of lawn, period. So you can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like in dry form. It's kind of powdery. It looks yellow, kind of. We're going to put it into here. And I have 1 gallon of warm tap water of super juice. Just give it a stir. The next thing I'm going to add, since if we want to replicate what a lot of these liquid aerators do, which are basically a surfactant, which fight the hydrophobic property, making water run off. So I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of surfactant in here. There are several different brands, and I'll link to a couple of them below, but this is basically, it's not that expensive. Half of my half cup. I'm putting 1/4 cup in here. The next thing I'm going to add, since let's say dethatchers and all of your biostimulants, they don't even have as much as this has in it right here. So I'm going to take one of these little recharge packs. You can also get the large pack. And so I'm using, I would say, about a teaspoon in this 1 gallon. This probably has about a tablespoon, so I'm going to use about half of this. And it's a fine little dust. What I can do, now I use a tea pitcher. Now you just put that in your spray bottles. I actually use a tea pitcher. I'll link to the tea pitcher, but some people have found some cheaper versions at Walmart. It just makes it easier when I fill these bottles. So you can see the stripe has turned dark brown, and I put it on the end of my hose, and I go out and I spray it on my lawn. So I really shouldn't be doing this now because my temperatures are still too cold. Maybe in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks is when I'll start, when I finally start to touch into the 80s. It's 4 simple steps. Number 1, put down the chicken feed. Number 2, put down human char. Number 3, spray with this supplement that we're doing. Do that all in the late evening, and then in the morning, run your irrigation system again. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it for you so that you understand it. I'm going to put out chicken feed, put out human char, then I'm going to spray it. I actually went over this 3 times. I didn't have my spreader open wide enough because I want to put a lot of this stuff down. I want a lot of this stuff down. Step number 2, put down human char. Step number 3 is to spray with the microbial pad. Morning. So it's the next morning. So what I'll do is I'll walk over here and I'll show you. Now last night I took the hose and I blasted the green with the chicken feed and human char. And what you'll see is that those chicken crumbles will actually just break apart into like a fine powder, and they'll work right down into your thatch layer. People ask if I see a lot of birds and wildlife. I really don't. I have thousands of birds, as you can tell from the sound of this video, thousands of birds, and they never come down for this chicken feed. I don't know why. I don't have any increased bugs. I don't mind the bugs. I don't mind the birds. I don't mind wildlife. That's part of the whole ecosystem. I don't mind if they come in. The birds eat the grubs and everything else. So I've never had an issue. Now I will tell you, when you start to make a healthy environment, there's not a lot of wildlife in the desert. But you go into real lush tropical areas, there's a lot of wildlife. And why is that? It's because it's healthy. So if you have a healthy environment, things are going to come. So like I said, last night I came out with the hose and I just did a real blasting on here. And you can see that I can actually come out and put. Most of that stuff is gone now. Let me get in the shade. But you can see here that most of that stuff is all worked in. You can see it deep down in there. But normally what I'll do is I'll come by here and I'll blast it down in or irrigate it in. So what have I done? I have added clean organic matter that will release nutrients into my lawn and act as a mild fertilizer. But the main thing I'm doing is I'm feeding my good fungus and I'm feeding my good bacteria, my good soil microbes. I'm supplying clean organic matter. I don't want to put manure down on my lawn. I don't want to add pathogens. I don't want to add bad things. That clean organic matter, which basically you can eat if you wanted to, will go in there and break down. It goes through a process called humification, and it helps turn your soil that dark, rich color. I've added humic acid, fulvic acid, sea kelp, surfactant. I've added everything that is good as a supplement to my lawn as well too. It's cheap too. Now that chicken feed, I pick mine up at Tractor Supply. It's like $14 for a 50-pound bag. I have, close to 18,000 square feet, and I'll put 3 bags down in my backyard and 2 bags down in my front yard. So I'll put down a lot of this stuff. I'll put down that organic matter. During the summertime, I'll put it down maybe once a month or so, and then I'll spray with that supplement every week or every other week. That's how I do this. So drop a comment down below, give a thumbs up or thumbs down, either one, hit subscribe, and follow us this year. And this is what we'll be doing. We'll be showing you in our gardens and in our lawns how we're increasing that natural state making soils come alive rather than just being dead. And that's what Gabe is talking about in this video, is how to have a soil that's alive and healthy. Hope it's helped. Talk to you later. Dad.